Good morning, panels, and welcome to our video presentation. Today we are about to present our final presentation of our capstone study, and luckily, we were unable to present this study in front of you personally because of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, we will still do our best to present this study through this video presentation. Thank you. The title of our study is Online Enrollment System for Laboratory High School of Ilocos Polytechnic State College, Tagudin Campus. We've chosen this study not just because it is under our line of interest, but also the goal was to solve service constraints, especially in schools. And then we came up by choosing an online enrollment system. This time, let's have an overview with the study. So the study was conducted in the Laboratory High School of Ilocos Polytechnic State College, Tagudin Campus. The first thing that the school stated was they have no computerized way of processing enrollment, so the developed system provided a faster and convenient way, which lessens the duration of enrollment and also delivered another option for enrolling. The developed system also helps to reduce the workloads, which will be carried by the staffs of the school. And last but not the least, the developed system can provide an organized and ready-to-print records and brought easy access to students' information and account. The research design that was used in this study was descriptive developmental research. Descriptive research was applied in the interview, observation, and documentary analysis, while developmental research was applied on the features, design, and architecture in the development of the system. Rapid Application Model, or simply called by RAD model, was used in software model. RAD model focuses on rapid prototyping and iterative delivery. The model is consisting of 4 phases, namely the requirements planning, user design, construction, and cutover. Requirement planning phase was applied in gathering data during the interview and observation. User design phase was applied in identifying the features of the system. Construction phase was applied in the construction of the system and during the adaptation of forms and reports. And cutover phase was applied in the implementation of the developed system and determining the level of usability of the developed system. The project plan of the developed system was strictly followed. The requirement planning phase started in August-October. The user design and construction phase was done in October to February, and cutover phase in the month of March. Let's proceed to the objectives. The study was consisting of 3 objectives. First was the determining of constraints and problems encountered during the enrollment in the Laboratory High School of ISBSC Tagudin campus. Second was the identifying the features of the system. Third was the evaluation of the level of usability of the system. Let's proceed to the scope and limitation of the study. The scope of the developed system covers the enrollment of Laboratory High School of ISBSC Tagudin campus. The developed system is accessible using mobile or desktop browsers and allows everybody to perform the enrollment online. The system has 4 user accounts, namely the principal and registrar, which are the administrators of the developed system. Second is the cashier, and third is the student. The system generates reports such as students' master list, assessment form, list of subjects, schedules, students' account, and more. Also, the system provides SMS notification for transaction alerts, which will be sent to the students' parents. The system is temporarily not including a grading system. All transactions should be done in cashier's office only. And also, it does not provide online admission and does not release school credentials. And lastly, it is not capable of tracking schedule conflicts. Let's proceed to the findings. Based from the gathered information during the interview with Mrs. Femery M. Capistrano, principal of the Laboratory High School, she stated that the school needs a better way to lessen the process of enrollment, and also, the school needs to have an organized way of keeping students' documents, especially during enrollment. Third, the school needs to have another option and way of enrolling. And lastly, needs to have an enrollment system. During the observation in the current enrollment procedure, the school are performing the enrollment using paper and pen method, such as requiring the students to fill up the different forms and wait in line for the admission and payment. And also, the school requires the student for personal appearance during the registration and fall in line for a couple of time. And also, late enrollees cannot be avoided, and so extension of enrollment shall be imposed. And the unavailability of computer units and office applications are in need during the enrollment of the Laboratory High School of ISPSC Tagudin campus. The results from the finding was a guide in identifying the list of features of the developed system. First, the system is accessible through internet, and also it allows online registration and online assessment of fees, and also viewing of requirements and list of subjects. The system also tracks payment history, especially by providing the balance and total fee of the student's account. And also it provides SMS notification which provides the transaction alert which will be sent to the parents of the students. And also the system provides generation of reports such as students' master list, schedules, etc. The level of usability of the developed system was gathered through the use of Lea Mae questionnaire. Data gathered from objective number 3 was quantified by using frequency count and mean. To analyze the gathered data, Likert scale was used. Level of usability was evaluated along the following dimensions: ease of use, satisfaction, usefulness, and ease of learning. This is the table for the assessment scale of the level of usability. Point value 5, which is under the mean ranges 4.21 to 5, will be interpreted as very highly usable. Point value 4, which is under the mean ranges 3.41 to 4.20, will be interpreted as highly usable. Point value 3, which is under the 2.61 to 3.40, will be interpreted as moderately usable. Point value 2, which is under the mean ranges 1.81 to 2.60, will be interpreted as slightly usable. Point value 1, which is under the mean ranges 1.0 to 1.81, will be interpreted as not usable. Population sample for the assessment of level of usability. Population sample is consisting of one LHS principal, 4 personnel or staff, which are the teachers who are participating in organizing the enrollment of the Laboratory High School, 178 students, and 4 parents. The following table are the results of level of usability based from the gathered data from the respondents. This table shows the results for the assessment of level of usability and ease of use. The 5 indicators got a mean rating of 4.89, which is interpreted as very highly usable. This table for the result for the level of usability and satisfaction. The 5 indicators got a mean rating of 4.81, which is interpreted as very highly usable. This is the table for the result of level of usability and usefulness. The 5 indicators get a mean rating of 4.85, which is interpreted as very highly usable. This is the table for the result of level of usability and ease of learning. The 5 indicators get a mean rating of 4.90, which is interpreted as very highly usable. In summary, of the assessment of features of the developed system is if use has a submean of 4.89, satisfaction has a submean of 4.81, usefulness has a submean of 4.85, and ease of learning has a submean of 4.90. In total, the 4 assessment of the level of usability has a grand mean of 4.86, which descriptively interpreted as very highly usable. Overall, this implies that the respondents perceive that the level of usability of the developed system is useful, easy to learn, easy to use, and can enough satisfy the user. Therefore, the developed system is usable. Let's proceed to the conclusions.
Based from the findings, the conclusion was stated as follows. Number 1. The current enrollment process of Laboratory High School of Ilocos or Polytechnic State College encounters problems. Therefore, is in need an online enrollment system for an efficient and effective process. Number 2. The developed online enrollment system has functional features for utilizing upcoming enrollees. Also, it guarantees the parents for information and updates about the student's account. Therefore, the said system should be adopted by the laboratory high school. Number 3. The level of usability of the developed online enrollment system has a grand mean of 4.86 interpreted as very highly usable. This implies that the developed system is indeed very high usable for enrollment process of the laboratory high school. Let's proceed to the recommendation. From the findings, the conclusion drawn, the following recommendations are offered. First, the Laboratory High School of Ilocos Polytechnic State College Tagudin campus should implement the online enrollment system to solve the problems encountered in the manual enrollment process. Second, the institution might consider for a higher plan of web hosting to support the developed system. Third, the institution should conduct training to all users for the proper use of the developed system. And the last, online transaction can be done by future researchers in order to reduce the work of the cashier. Grading system with online inquiry can also be done by future researchers in order for everybody to track students' grades.
That's all. Thank you.
Hello panels, welcome to our video presentation. We're about to demonstrate on how to use the developed system. This system is called Online Enrollment System of Laboratory High School of Ilocos Polytechnic State College, Tagudin Campus. In order to reach this website, the user must open their internet browsers on their smartphones or personal computer and visit www.ispsctagudinsystems.info/LHS. The browser will direct the users to the website. This is the homepage of the website, which features the name. This website also provides news and announcements from the school. This is the enrollment system itself. In the content, we see the Filipino instruction to guide the users in using the system. As we see in the right corner, there is a long registration form. This is the pre-registration area, which asks for short information of the enrolling student. To enroll, we must first pre-register by providing our first name, middle name, last name, and mobile number. The system also asks for username and password in order to have an account. After filling up the form, let's proceed. After pre-registration, the user will receive a registration form for completing the registration process. The user must provide his or her valid information in order for him to be validated by the administrator. Like, for example, after completing the registration form, we see below are the requirements for enrollment which will be passed personally to the registrar. At the right side, we see the assessment of fees depending on chosen grade level. Now, our form is ready to be submitted. Just click the box right above the submit button, then let's click submit. After submitting, the registration form will serve as a request in the administrator's dashboard. We see badge below our form, and this indicates the status of our registration form. Below the status is the update button if you wish to update the information that we provided. Let's wait for the administrator to accept. If the administrator validates the registration and accepts it, an SMS notification will be sent to the user. This indicates that the enrollee can now proceed to the next step. The enrollee can print his or her assessment form by clicking this button over here. This form will be passed later on to the cashier when the enrollee pays his or her enrollment fee. Now, after paying directly to the cashier, the student are now considered enrolled, and the status in the account will be changed to enrolled. Now the student can also track his or her payment history by clicking this button in this sidebar. Here we see the balance and the total fee. And this is the table for payment history. The student can visit the account anytime to check the payment history, remaining balance, and total fee. Also, here she can produce more of his or her assessment form if necessary. If the user wishes to leave his account, just click this log out button out here and proceed. And then, if the user wishes to log in once again in his account, he must just click this login button out here in the navigation bar and enter the username and the password. Now he's in once again. So hello panels. This time we will demonstrate how to use the administrators panel. The first thing that we need to do is to log in the administrator's account. All we need to do is go to your browser and visit ispsc tagudin systems.info /lhs /0.fm.c.admin. After entering the link, the browser directs us to the administrator's login page. This page is only for the administrators and it only validates administrator accounts. The default administrator username is LHSISPSC and default password is LHSISPSC2020. After logging in the account, the page directs us to the main administrators page. After taking the access, the first page that appears is the student's dashboard. This page has tabs for the request list, your registered accounts, ignored page, the playlist, and the master list. Before I demonstrate this page, let us first visit the administrator's dashboard by clicking this tab in the sidebar. Now, this section displays the administrator's dashboard. This page holds the control on opening and closing an enrollment. For starting a new enrollment period, we're just going to click this button over here, and this model will appear. Just choose what school year and semester. Let's proceed, and this time the enrollment has begun. So, as we can see, the active school year and semester is set. So the students now can enroll in the system. Since in this page, the system has no data yet, so we're just going to load the old data that has been registered by the students during the pilot testing of this system. Since we do not have enrollees yet, we loaded the pilot tested data during the dry run of this system. So as we can see over here, the charts over here is showing the population of the school. This chart shows the population of junior high school and senior high school. This one over here shows the population of each grade level. This one over here shows the population per gender, and this one shows the population in each strand. Now, we're done with the administrator's dashboard. Let's now proceed to the announcements page by clicking this button in this sidebar. Now, this is the announcements panel. It displays the list of announcements which was available to read in the system's homepage. To add announcement, just click this button over here and this form will appear. Just fill the needed information to post an announcement, like for example, for the title, let's say class schedule. For the content, let's say this is the class schedule. for grade 11, hymns for first semester of school year 2020. Now, let's set the announcement date and let's choose the photo. Of course, to avoid copyright, we will provide the courtesy of the photo. Now let's put the caption of the photo. Let's say class schedule hymns 11 and the location, let's say LHS ISPSC. So all forms are filled up, then let's proceed. Now the announcement is posted and available to read in the homepage. This time, let's now proceed to the student's dashboard. Earlier, after we log in, the system directs us first as this page. This allows the administrator to track the status of the ongoing enrollment. The first thing that shows is the request page. This page displays the registration request of the students. These are the students who submitted a completed registration form. The administrator validates the information, and if this administrator confirms that this account is legit, then he or she can accept this request and allows the student to proceed in the cashier to settle his or her enrollment fee. The moment we accepted this request, an SMS notification will be sent to the student, which will notify that he and she or she can now proceed to the next step. Second is the new registers page. This page displays the pre-registered account. These are the accounts that has not yet submitted a registration form. Third is the ignored page. If a request is ignored by the administrator, then the request goes in this page. Fourth, after we accepted the request earlier, the data will be listed here. This list shows the students who will be paying their enrollment forms in the cashier. If the student pays his enrollment fee, then his data here will be archived. And last but not the least, the master list page. All officially enrolled students are listed in this page. So let's just wait for the system to load. And grade level will be grade 12 ICT. Now, this action displays the master list for the grade 12 ICT strand for the second semester. This page displays the current school year, number of female, number of male, and the total population. To print the master list, just click the button here and the system will generate the report. So let's go back now. This time we will now go to the page for the subjects, fees, schedule, and list of teachers. By clicking this button, the system will direct you there. So this is now the page which has 4 links, which are the subjects page, schedule, fees, and teachers page. So first, let's discuss subjects page first. In this page, it displays the list of all subjects available in the current school year. So here we can see the listed subjects. To filter the subjects, let's try to search the subjects of grade 8. So let's say grade G8, and there we go. The table filtered the subjects by displaying the subject of grade 8. Now, for registering a new subject, just click this button over here and this model will appear. This will ask the code title, hours per semester, and hours per week. Let's say G7 Nolly. Here, let's say Nolly May Tanghere. In a semester, let's assume it has 486 hours. And in a week, let's say 8 hours. Then let's submit. After submitting, the subject is now registered in the system. But the subject has not yet been assigned to any class or schedule. So let's check if the subject is registered. So there we go. To assign this subject to any class, just click this button over here and the scheduling model will appear. So here we can now assign the subject. Let's choose the school year. If the chosen grade level is grade 7 to grade 10, then the strand, semester, and subject type is disabled unless the chosen grade level is grade 11 or 12. Now let's proceed. To find the subject, just click this button. Then we can now search the subject. Let's say Nolly. So there we go. Just click select. Then we can now select a teacher. Let's say this one. And then let's input the schedule. Let's say MWF 7:30 to 8:30. Then submit. So there we go. The subject is now assigned to grade 7. Now we can also print the subject's master list in the current school year by clicking this button over here, and it will generate the report. Then let's go back. So let's proceed to the schedules page. Just click this link and it will direct us there. This is the schedules page where it displays the class schedule for each grade level. In each table, it displays the subject code, descriptive title, the schedule, and the subject teacher. The system can also make this schedule to a generated document. Just click this button over here and it will generate the report. So here we go. This report can also be printed. Just download the document or print it directly. So let's go back. In the system, we can also manage the fees in the junior high school and senior high school. Just click this link over here and it will direct us there. In this page, it displays all the fees both in junior and senior high school. In the content, we have three tabs over here. This one combines all the fees, and this one filters the fees to junior high school only, and this one right here filters the fees to senior high school. Let's try to add a fee. In order to register a new fee, just click this button over here and this form will appear. The form asks for the school level, description, amount, and school year. So let's go. First, let's say this is for junior high school. So the description will be bugle and the amount is 30 pesos. School year is the current, so let's submit. So there we go. So let's check if the fee is successfully registered. So there we go. We can also update the fee information by clicking this button right here, and this model will appear. Then we can edit. On the other side, we can also delete the fee by clicking this button over here. So, all registered fees in this page can also be printed. Just click print button right here and it will generate a report. This report shows the fees for both junior and senior high school. The report can be downloaded or printed. Just choose the options over here. So let's go back. In this system, we can also manage the list of teachers, which will serve as an option in subject schedule assignment. Just click this link over here and the system will direct us there. In this page, it displays this list of teachers registered in the system. The table displays the name, address, specialization, and license number of the teacher. So let's try to register a new teacher. To register a new teacher, just click this register button over here and this form will appear. The form asks for the full name, address, specialization, and license number of the teacher. So let's try. Let's say George Villanueva, and the address is Barangay Magsaysay, Tagudin, Ilocos Sur. And the specialization, let's assume major in web development. And for the license number, let's say E02-004-0044-02. Then let's submit. So after the registration, let's validate if the data was registered. So there we go. The teacher's information can also be edited. Just click this update button right here and this model will appear. In this model, we can now edit the information if we want to. The data can also be deleted. Just click the trash button beside the update button and proceed. Going back at the top, we can see that there is a print button over here. This button generates a report for the list of teachers in the system or also in the school. So let's try. This form shows the list of teacher registered in the system. This form can be printed or downloaded. Just choose between the options in this area. So let's go back. The administrator's account can also be customized. We can change the username and password of the account. Just click the account settings located in the sidebar. The system directs us to this page where we can change the username and password of the account. Like for example, let's change the username to ISPSCLHS. So, in order to change the password, we should type the old password of the account. Otherwise, the changing of username and password will not be accepted. So let's type the old password. Now we're ready to change the password. So the new password will be ISPSC LHS2020. Take note that we should retype the password. This step validates the password whether it matches. After setting the new username and password, just click submit. And there we go. The next time the administrator log in, he or she will now use the new username and password. Now we are finished with the entire administrator's function. Now let's log out by clicking this button in the sidebar and click OK. Then the system brings us back in the home page.
Now this time, we will now show you how to use the cashier's account. All we need to do is visit once again the administrator's log page. Let's input ISPSC Tagudin Systems /LHS/0.fm.c.admin. Now let's log in the cashier's account. The default cashier's username is ISPSC Cashier, while the password is ISPSC Cashier 2020. Then proceed. The system validates the account, and there we go. The first page that we see is the list of officially enrolled students account. Each data in here contains the remaining balance, total fee, the payment history, and the status of the student's account. We can see out here that there are these tabs. These tabs filters the table into listing junior high school or senior high school student's account. We can also filter the table by listing the partially and fully paid accounts by choosing between these buttons. As we can see, also, there's a yellow button here. This is a link where it directs us to a list of students who are about to pay their enrollment fee. So let's try. As we discussed earlier back in the administrator's account, when a student submits a complete registration form in the system, then the registration form becomes a request to the administrator. Then the admin validates the data and accepts the request. At that moment, the admin accepts. The account will be listed here as a student who are about to pay for the enrollment fee. So let's assume this is the account. For example, this student goes directly to the cashier and pays his fee. The cashier will record the transaction by clicking this pay button over here. Now this form will appear. Here we see the total fee, school level, payment date, amount, bill received, the name of the payer, and the official receipt number. So let's try. Let's say the date today. And he will be paying for 569 pesos. And the bill that the student gave is 1,000 pesos. then the name, and the official receipt number, which will be provided actually by the cashier. After recording the transaction, now the account is considered as enrolled. At the moment recorded the transaction, an SMS notification was sent to the parent of the student containing the transaction detail. Now let's proceed. Since the account is already enrolled, this account will be archived in this list and goes on the official list of enrolled students. If the student pays once again his fee, his account is now on this list. Just search the name and there we go. Just click the pay button right here and we will see the student's detail, including the total fee, remaining balance, and the status. In this area, we see the payment history of the student. To record the transaction once again, the cashier must fill up this area, like for example, let's say May 30, 2020. The payment is 400 pesos, while the bill received is 500 pesos. Then the change will be automatically computed. Then the payer's name and the official receipt number. Then click pay. The transaction is recorded. Then an SMS notification containing the transaction will be sent once again to the parent of the student. Now we're done with the recording of transaction. Let's proceed to the list. To filter the table to junior high school or senior high school student account, just click between these buttons. To filter the list to partially or fully paid student account, just choose between these buttons. In partially paid list, we can generate a report of this list by choosing between this button. This one generates all partially paid accounts, while this one generates the junior high school partially paid accounts. And this one prints the senior high school partially paid accounts. So let's try. So this is the report in the list of partially paid account. We can download the report or print it directly, just choose between these options right here. For fully paid accounts, just click this button over here and displays the fully paid accounts. We can generate a report of this list by clicking this button. This one generates all fully paid accounts. We can download the report or print it directly, just choose between these options. So let's go back. So that's all about the functions in the cashier's account. Cashier's account can also be customized. We can change the username and password of the account. Just click the account settings located in the sidebar. The system directs us to this page where we can change the username and password of the account. Like for example, let's change the username to cashier ISPSC 2020. In order to change the password, we should type the old password of the account. Otherwise, the changing of username and password will not be accepted. So let's try. Now we're ready to change the password. The new password will be cashier ISPSC 2020. Take note that we should retype the password. This step validates the password whether it matches. After setting the new username and password, just click submit. And there we go. The next time the cashiers log in, he or she will now use the new username and password. Now we are finished with the entire cashier's function. Now let's log out by clicking this button in the sidebar and click log out. Then the system brings us back in the home page. And that's all about it. We hope we delivered our video presentation very well. And thank you very much for your patience on viewing this one.